G'day, g'day. So today, a very iconic Australian plant, and I think it's the national or state flower of, I don't know which state, probably New South Wales, don't quote me on it. But anyway, the Waratah. So that Latin name is Telopea. There is no second name to that, it's just Telopea, something like Speciossissma or something like this, but it's SPP, which just means of the species of Telopea. Now, this absolutely gorgeous flower here is sort of similar to a grevillea, but not quite. So it does produce nectar, and you can actually combine that nectar with spring water as a substitute for mother's breast milk. That was the little something I was taught by 85-year-old Darawal elder and ex-senior lecturer at Macquarie University for Environmental Science, Auntie Frances Bodkin. Now, she said she actually did that for her child. So she actually, the baby wasn't able to latch, and as a result, she gathered the nectar of this, added it with spring water, and the baby thrived on that. Now, the way to do that, right, is normally you just sort of early in the morning. I don't know if I'll be able to do it here. Okay, well, you get a few of these little droplets like this one here, right? But this is now later in the season. As you can see, that's so sweet. As you can see, it's starting to die off here, right? And all these, it's actually a cluster of about a few hundred smaller flowers, right? And they don't produce that many seeds, even though they've got all these flowers. Now, if you want to get the nectar, you've got to get up before the sun rises. So first light, before the little black ants come along and start crawling all over it, because then you have to pick out black ants from your nectar, and it's really annoying. Now, these guys will actually reshoot from the base after fire. So down here, they do actually have a bit of an underground tuber, and I'll see if I can expose that a bit for you. Alright, you've got some little root nodules coming out here and there. All this stuff there. What do we got? That's not it, that's something of another side plant. So it's actually quite a big root there, but it's not so much edible. Now, the flowers themselves, aside from the nectar, you can actually roast the entire flower head. I have eaten the tips like that before, but they do go a lot nicer when roasted. What else can we do with this here? So, the name Waratah is actually a native indigenous word, a native word meaning beautiful. So that's usually Waratah or Waratah, something of this nature there. And the traditional stories around the Waratah, depending on the tribe, they usually have something to do with bloodshed. So there's one story of the Dharug sort of area, and that's around the Blue Mountains, sort of the northern Blue Mountains area. And then you've got things like Darawal, sort of knowledge as well. So the first story talks of two tribes, and this was a huge war between these tribes. And this was a time when your tribe maybe only had about 30 men of fighting age, and these were all your uncles and your cousins and your grandfathers and all this sort of stuff, and your mother's brothers. Now, this tribe had a fight with another tribe, and this was a huge fight, and there was bloodshed everywhere, and the blood rained down on all the Waratahs because they were originally white. And all the Waratahs got covered with the blood, and they were stained forever to remind people not to fight, that fighting does not bring anything other than pain and suffrage. Another story talks of two wonga pigeons, and they were romantically in love, absolutely devoted to each other, these pigeons. And they would fly everywhere together in the forest, but never ever to fly above the trees, because the eagle would come and get them. But one day, as they were flying around, one of the lovers lost the other partner and didn't know where to find him. So they flew everywhere, and couldn't find them, called out for the days and days and couldn't find them. And at last decided, if I can go above the canopy, maybe then I'll see them and I'll find them. So they flew above the canopy, and as soon as they did, the eagle swooped in, killing it. And its blood rained down on all the Waratahs and became the red that we have today. So that's a little beautiful myth there. Now, if you want to grow these, and they do grow wherever there's mist, wherever you're at a cold enough area to get apples growing, is where you'll also get these lovelies growing. And the seeds are really easy to sprout, and as you can see down here, the soil is quite sandy, but it's a very compact sandy soil, right? So again, I'll just bring it up to the camera there. It's actually, you know, it's quite, let's just zoom out, shall we? It's quite sandy. It does clump together, but not very well. So it's mostly sand with a good amount of eucalyptus humus. Anyway, folks, there you go. So that's the Waratah, Telopea Speciossissma. And the word Waratah means beautiful in the national language of the Dharug and also Darawal clans, tribes, countries in the landmass, commonly referred to as Australia. So, yeah, take care of yourselves, have yourselves a lovely day, go out in the bush and, oh, while we're at it, have a look at this lovely new growth, eh? Yeah, pretty stuff. Gorgeous. Anyway, peace out, folks. Lots of love.